was in law school 35 years ago, in 1982. That's when I started law school. And the very subject that we're talking about tonight, that naisA exists, the reason why naisA exists, that is the bamboo ceiling, or I think on the website there's the sticky floor, and whatever you want to call it. That was the very question we were asking. How do we break through that bamboo ceiling as Asian Americans and other persons of color trying to break into the professional world, and in my case, in the legal world? When I started law school, I was in Boston. There happened to be a surprisingly large enough population of Asian American law students, not so much by way of lawyers. Um, but then when I graduated and I came to the DC area, I was the only Asian American lawyer in Montgomery County and in Baltimore. I started out in the Maryland Attorney General's office, and I was the only Asian American lawyer, and I was just happy to have a job. But looking around, there being no Asian American lawyers, you get lonely. And one day I was in court, and the judge asked me, "Where is your lawyer?" I said, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I am the lawyer." When you're in a business setting, people don't treat you or talk to you seriously enough. In fact, just a couple days ago in my Chicago office, I was in a meeting, I was interviewing a venture capital attorney. He was a graduate of law school right around the time as me, so we're around the same age. And we were talking about, and my organization is interested in investing a large amount of cash for venture capital opportunity. And we were talking, and of course, I'm interviewing him to work for us, right? And we just, you do the usual, what did you do before, and so on and so on. And I said, well, before this, I was a judge. The surprise on his face was palpable. And it was a surprise of, really? Or really? Which spoke volumes, okay? And that today we're still talking about this is what, is of concern. And so an organization like naisA is important, is really important, that you come to events like this to network with each other, among each other, and then outside of the group. And I'm really pleased to say that my friend like Michael is so involved and active in something like this, because it's not just about Asian Americans, but it's the interaction and the integration of everybody within this workforce, whether it be in the legal profession or outside the legal profession in different industries. So let me share with you just a little bit about how I got to where I got to. The biography says, I've done all these different things. But I came to the United States as an immigrant in 1968, almost 50 years ago. And my dad just drove into my head ever since I was a kid. You're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a lawyer. So when it came time to apply to after college, to apply to graduate school, when I said, I want to do graduate school in history, my father nearly passed out, right? It's the typical Asian story. You're going to be a lawyer and that's it, otherwise, forget it. So I became a lawyer. Having done that, I don't know what it was about law school or the law school experience, but I always wanted to be a trial lawyer. And maybe it was because while in law school, I never saw or heard of Asian American lawyers in court. Because as I discovered over the years, many of my then colleagues, Asian American lawyers who graduated, were holed up in law libraries because the law firms thought Asian American lawyers, having been really good students, graduating from the top law schools, were really good at reading the law books, researching and writing, but not so much to be the face of the firm in the courtroom. And so when I graduated, I decided, I'm not going to a large law firm. I'm going to go to a public, a government job where they have no choice. like it or not, they're going to have to send me to court so that I can be the face of this government. And instead of going back to my hometown, Los Angeles, I decided I'd come down here. There were some personal reasons. But here I came to the Mid-Atlantic region, knew nobody. And so over the years, I came to see that the face of Asian Americans in the law, in my profession, uh, were very few and far between. And today, I'm really pleased to say we've made a lot of strides. We have more judges on the bench. We have more partners in law firms. We have Asian American professors in law schools. And these are all the reasons why I decided to do all these different things. I had, as I told my son, 3 full-time jobs: professor, lawyer, judge, and musician and athlete and all of that. So I have a lot more to tell you, but I think my time's running short. Let me just close by suggesting to you that you have a path that you can easily follow, but really, and along that path you're going to fail, because I sure did. I tried to be a judge 3 times. First time, miserable failure. But I went back and did it again. Second time again, they said no. Third time, finally, interviewed with a governor. Governor and I hit it off, and it happened. But when it happens, it's a wonderful feeling. So I would encourage you to persevere in that respect as well, and continue with your participation and networking in a group like this. The naisA, I think, serves a valuable purpose. Thank you very much.